Hi there. So I came across something today that I'd never heard before. I mean, there's a whole lot to look into on this. I was looking for an article by Caroline Graham. That is the journalist who did the piece about Thomas Jr. and Thomas Sr. moving over to Southeast Asia. She's the one who also did the piece by Coleman Rayner that originally kind of sold Thomas Sr. down the river. So she's an interesting journalist. She works for the Daily Mail, but she is based in Los Angeles. The only time that she has been in the UK for, a decent amount of time was during the pandemic. Other than that, she lives in Los Angeles and she handles the American stories for the Daily Mail. And presumably she focuses on royal stories. She's in LA and that's where the Duke and Duchess are, so she definitely is the one that is doing a lot of these stories on both Harry and Meghan and on the Markles. And what I came across, it was just all very odd. So I wanted to read some of these articles and discuss them with you. One of them I'm going to read to you, the other three I'm just going to kind of go over. But the one, I think it's very important. This was an article written by Caroline Graham, and it deals with Thomas Markle Sr.'s death threats, right? So, I'm going to kill you, you fat F. Meghan Markle's father, Thomas, has received multiple death threats from a close female friend's violent ex-boyfriend, who she also accuses of slashing his tires. Now, the interesting thing here is, I thought the death threats were from people because of Thomas Markle Sr. and people who were supporting Meghan. What this death threat has nothing to do with Thomas Markle or Meghan Markle, as far as I can figure out. Mr. Markle, 74, has been subjected to multiple threats from Jose Sandoval. Sandoval has conducted a campaign of terror against Markle's friend, Lori Davis, 38. He allegedly drove past Mr. Markle's house and said, "I'm going to kill you." Mr. Markle arranged for Miss Davis to move to a safe house as threats escalated. Sandoval, who was jailed for illegally entering the U.S., denies the claim. All of this is so very odd. Meghan Markle's father has received death threats from a violent criminal. The Mail on Sunday can reveal. Thomas Markle, 74, has been subjected to multiple threats to his life from Jose Sandoval, the former boyfriend of one of his closest female friends. Sandoval has allegedly conducted a campaign of terror against Lori Davis, 38, and her 11-year-old daughter, Jocelyn, who refers to Mr. Markle as Uncle. That raises alarm bells for me. I'm just going to put that out there. Last week, Sandoval, who was jailed for 30 months in the U.S. for illegally entering the country before being deported in 2000, allegedly drove past Mr. Markle's house in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, and shouted at the retired Emmy-winning lighting director, "I'm going to kill you, you fat F." Sandoval denies the claim. So what does this have to do? Why is this being public? What is going on here? This has nothing to do with Meghan Markle. It has everything to do with this woman. And if this woman is being harassed because she has some sort of relationship with Thomas Markle Sr., it still has nothing to do with Meghan Markle. Why is this newsworthy? And why is Caroline Graham sharing this story? The alleged incident was included in a damning 8-page police report filed by Miss Davis last week, in which she accused Sandoval of slashing Mr. Markle's tires as part of a demented series of attacks. In the report, Miss Davis also states, "He, Jose, grabbed me by the neck while twisting it, as if he was choking me, and I have pictures of these aggressions. He spat on my face. He goes to my uncle's house," referring to Tom, "and tells him that he is going to kill him because he is constantly hiding me and threatens and insults him." Now, so it's the woman that calls Thomas uncle? Not the daughter? Honestly, that makes it worse. Here is the picture of Jose Sandoval, right? And this is him You're going to see him burning all of her clothes. Now, my question is, what does any of this have to do with Thomas Markle or Meghan Markle, or why is this royal news? I mean, is he in a relationship with this woman? Are they friends? Like, what is going on here? But here, let's see the video. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm looking at this woman and saying, those bras wouldn't fit her. That's just me. What do I know? Miss Davis was introduced to Mr. Markle through a mutual friend when they lived in the same gated community. She was wrongly accused of being Mr. Markle's girlfriend after the pair were photographed at an Italian restaurant. In an exclusive interview with the Mail on Sunday, a tearful Miss Davis said, "Tom has been nothing but a supportive friend. He's been a rock to me and my daughter, and I'm sorry he has been dragged into this violent and abusive situation." Okay, but then why are you telling us about it? Why is Carolyn Graham doing this as a story? Like, what on earth is the motivation for this? Is Thomas getting paid? Is she getting paid? What's going on? My daughter calls Tom uncle. He's the most genuine and kind person I know, and the most stable male figure my daughter has ever known. My ex-boyfriend is demented, so clearly you were not a very good judge of character the last time. He has threatened to kill me and my daughter multiple times and has made multiple threats to Tom's life. Mr. Markle, who has been estranged from his daughter since her wedding to Prince Harry, recently arranged for Miss Davis and Jocelyn to move to a safe house as the threats escalated. Miss Davis finally split from Sandoval, 49, several weeks ago following an 8-year on-off relationship. Miss Davis alleged that during their relationship, Sandoval poured lighter fluid on her and threatened to set her on fire in front of her mother and daughter. During the relationship, that wasn't the end, right? He is also said to have burned and slashed her clothes. Yes, we just saw that video. Miss Davis has given police threatening emails and texts from Sandoval and has also shared them with the Mail on Sunday, while waiving her right to anonymity as an alleged victim of domestic violence. And why would you do that to your daughter? Ugh. Jose has terrorized us, she said. Because Tom is my friend, he has threatened him too. In one chilling voicemail heard by the Mail on Sunday, Sandoval says, "F you and Tom. Tom's got something coming too. Just you wait and see." We have another picture here. And I find that those women look very uncomfortable. And I don't understand why this would be in the Mail on Sunday. This has absolutely nothing to do with the royals. It really doesn't even have anything to do with Thomas Markle. This is her story. I mean, Miss Davis filed for an order of protection with police in the Mexican city of Tijuana on Monday. Mr. Markle also spent 2 hours there giving a witness statement. He told the Mail on Sunday, "I'm not worried about my own life, but I do care about Lori and Jocelyn." Again, why are we putting this girl's name in the paper? I don't understand why he would make her such a target. It's a ridiculous thing to do. Who is getting anything out of this? Is he getting paid for this story? Is she getting paid for this story? And why Tijuana? Why not Rosarito? By the way, if you notice that I'm saying I don't understand a lot, that's because one of Thomas Markle Jr.'s fans said they enjoy it so much. And so I wanted to make sure I said it a lot just for them. I swore I would never talk again after my Mail on Sunday interview this year. The only reason I am doing so now is that I am hoping the spotlight on me might help save an abused woman. Now, do you believe that story? Because I don't believe that story. I think that after his Mail on Sunday interview, he realized he became irrelevant, and so he had to come up with another reason to put himself back into the newspapers. Mr. Markle confirmed he had received death threats from Sandoval, both in person and via text. He said the first time he threatened me was after I took Lori and Jocelyn for pizza, and we were photographed by the paparazzi. He texted me saying, "I will kick your ass, you fat F." I wrote back saying, "You don't even know me. What's wrong with you? Why would you feel threatened by a 74-year-old man?" Exactly. Why would this 49-year-old man be threatened by a 74-year-old one? None of this makes sense. He thought something sexual was going on between Lori and me, but it's not. Lori isn't my girlfriend. She hasn't hustled me for money. I've helped her financially so that she could get to a safe place to live with her daughter. Mr. Markle added, "I'd like to thank the police for finally taking these threats seriously and for listening and responding quickly." Well, this is very different than threats from the supposed Sussex Squad, because those are made up. This is a real threat, and you aren't the victim of the threat. The victim is this woman. When approached by the Mail on Sunday last night, construction worker Sandoval denied making death threats against Mr. Markle, adding, "He's lying." But he confirmed he once gave Lori 2 black eyes, saying, "I did hit her. She deserved it." Oh, really? Oh, well, this is just a freaking... This woman is a terrible judge of character, and this actually makes Mr. Markle look really bad. Sandoval also admitted he was deported from the U.S. and spent 30 months in jail, but said, "From the moment I came back to Mexico, I've worked hard." Well, I guess, what did you do while you were in the United States? You didn't work hard? Oh, for the love of all that is holy. So clearly we have a woman who desperately needs to get away from both of these men, because I think they are both exploiting and abusing her. I hope, this is what, 2018? I really hope that this woman is far, far, far away from both of them. That's just my opinion. Allegedly, do your own research and form your own conclusions. But what was interesting also was that when I found this article, which I was not looking for it, that's for sure, I found other articles by Carolyn Graham. And that's where things got interesting. By that article that Carolyn Graham and other ones that we've spoken about, such as the one where they're moving to Southeast Asia, Carolyn Graham is very much so on Thomas Markle and the Markle family's side. And yet, this vainglorious gala felt like the popping of Harry's bubble, but it was hard not to feel just a smidgen of sympathy for him. Carolyn Graham recalls her night at the tacky Living Legends of Aviation Awards in Los Angeles, and this was, obviously, January 20th, 2024, about a year ago. But the interesting thing is, despite that headline, the article isn't really that negative, and you know what she does? She has a whole video in it of that Prince Max dude. Oh, Harry, how has it come to this? From a royal highness who commanded respect and affection to a celebrity trinket paraded in front of paying guests at a cheesy Hollywood awards ceremony. The only crown I could find at Friday's Living Legends of Aviation Gala to honor the Duke of Sussex was made from plastic and rhinestones and perched atop the elaborately coiffured head of Miss California. And the only other royal present was a German who goes by the ridiculous name of Prince Mario Max Schomburg, Lippy, though his right to use that title is hotly disputed, who once appeared in a saucy internet series called Travel Boobs. Interesting. Given such a distinctly D-list gathering, no wonder the audience was abuzz as they waited for their guest of honor to arrive. although his faded royal stardust would not be enough to save the deeply unimpressive knight. Organizers had promised that the Duke would attend with his wife Meghan in what had been billed as the couple's first joint Hollywood red carpet appearance, but a PR lackey suddenly announced that Harry would be solo, that he had just snuck in through a back entrance. It was later reported that 42-year-old Meghan had decided to stay home because one of their 2 children was sick. Perhaps a wise move by the image-savvy former actress, considering so many of us were wondering, what on earth is Harry doing here? Now, as I said, it sounds like it's very derogatory, and it is, and yet it's not. If you go through, she ends up, like I said, interviewing Prince Mario Max. So, who might have been on board with this? Well, this article gives me the distinct impression of Lady C. It's as though I can hear Lady C's voice, writing this article. I'm not saying that Lady C wrote the article. I'm sure Caroline Graham wrote it. But it makes me wonder whose who's Caroline Graham working for? She was the one that exposed the photos that caused the rift between Thomas Markle Sr. and Meghan. So why is she now seeming to be so firmly in the camp of the Markles as well as Lady C? It's all very bizarre. And it seems to tell me that, anything coming from her, I now have to assume came from the Markle camp. And that includes those photos that framed them and caused the rift. In my opinion, allegedly, speculatively, do your own research and form your own conclusions. But that just, like I said, I came across it. It surprised me. There is 2 funny additional things. This Caroline Graham, she has the most bizarre collection of clothes. Every single shirt she has is a loud floral print, and she wears it everywhere. Seems to have like 4 or 5 of these loud, tacky Hawaiian shirts, and she wears them everywhere. Look at this. So this article This Is Where She Meets Trump, True Believers in Milwaukee, and this was July 20th, 2024, and this is the shirt she's wearing. Look at that. What do we have on there? My goodness, I don't even know what those are. Those are mangoes or something? I haven't a clue. But that's her at the Republican National Convention this past summer, and article, Thomas Markle, when I heard my daughter Meghan's baby news on the radio, the first thing I thought about was holding her in my arms as a newborn. And this is from the 20th of October, 2018. And same bizarre shirt. Now, is it possible that she has these 4 or 5 shirts and she intentionally wears them on assignments so that the pictures can't necessarily be dated or anything like that? Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her wearing the same shirt. I mean, she's got a couple of them, and of course she's entitled to wear shirts more than once. I just think it's unusual given the fact that there is so often this question mark over the photos that they share from any source, that this photo where the same shirt is coming out in 2018, 2024, there's nothing wrong with it, obviously. I'm being a little catty. But I do think it's odd given their photo history, shall we say. And by photo, I mean FAUXTO history. I have for you today, nothing too exciting, but certainly interesting. And obviously, I hope this woman is okay. I hope that she has learned to have better judge in character of men. And I hope her daughter's safe, certainly. The reason that I was looking at this was more about the fact that it seems these death threats that we've been hearing about were never about Meghan. They were never connected to the paparazzi chasing them down. It was never connected to the Sussex Squad and something that, was related in any way to his daughter and his estrangement with her. It seems that death threats were connected to this poor woman. So let me know. Have you heard this before? I look forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a great day filled with love, laughter, and of course, dancing.
Dancing in the rain.